every day is the same and it's blending in with one another, and my life is just an endless cycle of hatred and being tired and burnt out. Hello, my beautiful, adorable, cutie cherub. Absolutely delicious and edible, sexy, scrumptious masterpieces of my angel baby dolls. Also, you may notice something different about me. I got Botox. Okay, obviously, I'm just kidding, but my setting is obviously different. The reason why my background is different today is because my vanity chair literally collapsed. Like, it literally fell apart. Like, it fell to shambles. Anywho, I was thinking, what is something that I could talk about while I get ready that is interesting? You know, that's not me, of course. And I thought, why not tell you guys my unpopular opinions? So today, while I get ready to go hang out with my friends today, because my birthday's in a couple days. Disclaimer, these are all my opinions, and therefore they are my thoughts and perspectives on the world. You guys have your opinions, you guys have your thoughts, you guys have your perspectives. We can still have different opinions and still have pleasant conversations, okay? I invite you guys to have a friendly, productive discussion. You don't need to attack somebody just because they have a different opinion than you. Unless, of course, their opinion is they hate all black people, then, you know, obviously that's understandable, but why would you say that? Like, you're weird, just don't say that. If you have curly hair or textured hair, coily hair, embrace the frizz. Like, embrace the way that your hair is. Curly hair is not supposed to be perfectly defined. It's not supposed to be perfectly uniform. Your curls aren't supposed to look the exact same. Some are going to be looser, some are going to be tighter, some are going to be shorter, some are going to be long. Of course, everyone has their different opinions. I understand that. If you like your hair to be defined and, you know, more shrunken up because you prefer definition and just the general like look of that, as opposed to, you know, just letting your hair, you know, be in whatever state it wants to be in, I understand that. Everybody has their own preference. I'm not hating on that. But I feel like recently, with the rise of like curly hair routines and like curly hair is so cute, and, you know, here's my routine, you guys do my routine, you know, whatever, you know, the cutesy little, you know, yeah. But I feel like with that has come more people saying things like, oh my god, like the frizz, your hair is so frizzy, like, oh my god. And it's like, in my opinion, it's not supposed to be perfectly uniform. It's not supposed to look perfectly frizz free and, you know, defined and, you know, also long at the same time. Like, that's just not the way that curly hair behaves. We don't have straight hair. We have completely different hair textures. Our hair is going to behave and look different. But I do feel like wanting your hair to be perfectly uniform and like flat and like defined and, you know, look just perfectly tidy, and you don't want it to look unkept. I feel like that is rooted in texturism. Do not attack me. Do not attack me. This is just the way that I see it. This is just the pieces I put together in this puzzle. This is just what it has come out to be for me. And I mean, like, if you're trying to get your curly hair to do something that it just is not going to do, because that's just not what it wants to do. I mean, especially if you're trying to get it to look like in that perfectly uniform way, it just gets to a point where it's like, just accept what your hair wants to do. If your hair wants to grow up and out and it wants to dance and it wants to, you know what I'm saying, get on stage with Megan Thee Stallion, let it do that. I mean, that's what it wants to do. That's what it's going to do. No matter what you try to do, no matter how much gel, no matter how much diffusing you do, if you're sitting there for hours doing your diffusing routine and your hair is still not behaving, well, first of all, your routine may just not be that good, but just stop. Stop trying to get it to do that thing. It doesn't want to do that. That's just not the way that it behaves naturally. My next one is Shera 7 is not actually helping improving your life. She's just tricking you into thinking that you're doing something and that you're doing your big one, and, you know what I'm saying, you're playing the game by submitting to these men. And I understand. She brands herself as a financial advisor or something like that, which I get is one thing. It's different than being a, you know, relationship advisor, giving relationship advice. I know that. I was never an avid Shera 7 watcher, but her content popped up on my For You page a lot for like an extended amount of time. Like, I was seeing her nonstop for like literal months. And something that I realized is that this is not actually helping women. This isn't really helping anybody. I feel like, to me, and, this is just my opinion. Okay, this is just what I think. Believing that men are just going to be bad people and they're all going to cheat no matter what, and they're all going to do what they want, and they're all going to hurt you, and they all hate women, and you should just allow that to be your reality and just accept that under, oh, I'm getting money. No. No, this is what they want. This is what they want. This is what they've been doing. Like, rich and powerful famous men have been having affairs and mistresses for years because they know that they're rich and powerful and famous. Like, I remember I was watching The Wolf of Wall Street, and mind you, if you've seen The Wolf of Wall Street, you know, like, exactly what I'm about to say. His wife was very beautiful. The actress is very stunning. Like, she is very, very, very pretty. But when he was beginning to get rich and famous, he didn't associate, and at the time it just wasn't socially, like, this wasn't, that kind of woman wasn't the beauty standard. Like, if you can bag Megan Thee Stallion, you're that guy, unfortunately. And, like, I know that it's not just Shera 7 who pushes this ideology, and I'm not really trying to, like, single her out. She's just the only one I can think of on top of my head. I've seen videos and I've seen clips of other people preaching the same things, and I just don't remember their names, so I'm just using Shera 7 as an example because she really is one of the biggest ones. Quick foundation check. Had to make sure that it looked good real quick. I definitely, understand why for a lot of women they resort to those things. I just feel like the idea that men are born good or men are born bad. First of all, I don't think anybody is necessarily born bad or good. I don't think the average person, that's just walking amongst this earth, when they came out of their mother's womb, they were just like, if they are born bad or born to hate women because of their sex and their chromosomes, then we as women, like, what are we, like, naturally just empathetic and nurturing, which I hate that. I hate that because that's just weird. I don't think anybody's born under a
y'all know, y'all shut the
I don't think anybody is born under a gender stereotype. It's not a mystery to me as to why a lot of women, support Shera 7 and listen to her. I truly understand why, but I just encourage you, if you are, listening to her and you're young, the world is wide open and ready for you. There are so many people you're going to meet. Men can be good people. They have the ability to be good people. They can be good people. They're not doomed for all of eternity because they were born a male. That's just ridiculous, I fear. I just think if a man is treating you badly, if he's cheating on you and you don't like that, leave. Just because he's paying your bills doesn't mean you should stay. Don't ever let a man think that he can do whatever he wants to you or with you behind your back or in front of your back just because he has money and because he's taking care of you. Don't ever do that. Money is not worth your morals. It's not worth your sense of self. It's not worth your self-esteem, and it's damn sure not worth making you look stupid. Saying, oh, well, at least I have money, at least I have a nice house, and you can get that by yourself and be single and not have to be attached to that nonsense. But then again, like I said, this is just my opinion, and I really encourage people to look at the world with a different lens, navigate the world differently, and you will be shocked as to how it treats you. That's my piece of advice for the day. This is also low-key an unpopular opinion, I'm now realizing, but it's true. Like, you don't need to look at what someone else is doing in their relationship and say, well, my boyfriend isn't doing that. Does he not love me? Does he not like me enough? Like, am I not good enough for him? Like, does he just not want to take care of me and provide for me? Like, there are certain things I will say, though. Like, flowers. Get your girl some damn flowers. Don't piss me off. Get her some flowers. You can go to the gas station. Don't get her no gas station flowers, though. That's a little... You can go to Walmart. They're everywhere. Flowers, pick some off the ground. They grow from the earth. There's a line between being reasonable and just being cheap, being lazy, and not caring. But like I said, girl, you know your boyfriend more than anybody else knows their boyfriend. I mean, wait. You know your boyfriend more than anybody else knows your boyfriend. That's your relationship. Figure it out within your relationship. Just don't let the internet dictate everything you do. Okay, this one, now that I'm thinking about it, might not actually be super unpopular, but I have to say this just because I feel like not a lot of people speak out about this. Going to school and having a traditional 9-to-5 job and living that traditional lifestyle just isn't for everyone, and that's okay. I'm one of those people who low-key struggled with school. Not because I'm stupid, not because I don't understand the curriculum, but it's more so because of the structure of traditional schooling, or at least American schooling. After a while, I begin to feel like a robot, and I begin to feel like every day is the same and it's blending in with one another, and my life is just an endless cycle of hatred and being tired and burnt out. And it's true, after a while I do get burnt out from forcing myself to, also just going to a building with hundreds of kids and just people, and that is just very overstimulating and just very energy draining for me. Like, sometimes I want to do work, and I can do work, but I just don't want to do it there. Like, I just don't want to go to this place and look at all these people and do all that stuff. Obviously nobody wants to work, I'm not saying that. It's normal to not want to work, but I feel like we've normalized being stuck in this endless cycle of working, hating your life, being tired, being burnt out, not having any time or money or resources to do anything. This is more so a systematic issue, obviously, but I feel like, we should make it more normal and more talked about to discuss different issues. I mean, teaching kids, if you can't do regular schooling, that's fine. There's alternate schools, there's homeschooling programs that give you different options, like things like that. And so I was forcing myself into fitting this traditional American schooling mold, and it just wasn't working out for me because that just wasn't how my brain was computing. I wanted to break free. Okay, I wanted to break free. Also, while we're on the topic of jobs, can we talk about how a lot of people expect 10 out of 10, 3 Michelin star rated service from regular schmegular degular ass fast food employees? To go into a McDonald's drive-thru or inside of their lobby expecting absolutely amazing service is diabolical. You know you're wrong. These people are getting paid $10 an hour to be overworked. They're overworked and underpaid. Sometimes they aren't going to clock into their shift with that, oh my god, I'm so happy to be at McDonald's. How can I serve you? They hate their job. Nobody likes working at McDonald's or at any fast food place. Nobody truly likes doing that because they never pay you enough. I'm not saying people should go into their job and treat people horribly, treat customers horribly. No. Give people just common decency. But a lot of people complain like, oh my god, you messed up like that. You freaking freaked out like that. How freaking bad it is to me. I'm not a question. You're coming at one of the most busiest times of the day, on one of the most busiest days. You're trying to get food. You're trying to order 13 meals on a Saturday night at 10 p.m. There's about 50 other people doing the exact same thing as you. What do you expect? While we're on the topic of fast food, can we please discuss how a lot of you guys do not treat fast food workers or retail workers like they're real people? You guys genuinely must think that we are NPCs. And I'm saying we because I used to be a retail worker, and my most recent job was at a fast food place. And I'm a teen, okay? I'm young, so people definitely don't treat me like I'm a real person. Like, they genuinely think I'm just an NPC. Like, I spawn out of nowhere, clock in, and then despawn when it's time for me to clock out. Dude, I'm a real person with a life and feelings and emotions. You guys have gotten so accustomed to brain rotted, taste bud burning, reality distortioning fast food that you think waiting 5 minutes for food is outrageous. The people who are packaging your food and making your food are important. They are important. They may not be an essential worker necessarily, but they are important. They're making your food. When you are too lazy to cook dinner for you and your family, and you go to a freaking fast food place and you're placing your big freaking order, the people who are feeding your family are important. They may not be super important, but everyone's important. Every human being on this earth is important. We all matter. We're all somebody. In my opinion, the Gen Z stare is very, very real, but it's also very, very valid because a lot of you guys will just stand there and you guys will read a sign that says, not currently accepting cash at this time. And then you'll walk up with cash in your hand and sorry, this is actually pissing me off. You guys, I'm running out of mascara. This was one of my favorite mascaras. Like, I don't even know if they sell this anymore. Mac, please. Mac, please.
Cupcake. I don't want a cupcake. Please.
My last and final unpopular opinion. Sorry if I'm like talking like I just got some freaking Botox and I can barely emote my face. I'm doing my lip liner, obviously. My cat is in my room. Chelley was low-key not tripping. In my personal opinion, you know, if you guys have a sisterhood, why would you choose your sister's like closest, strongest connection that she's had for the longest time, that she was like really locking in with? I know she was exploring with Chris, but in my opinion, I feel like we could all tell she wasn't really feeling him. She was never going to choose him over Ace. She wasn't going to choose anybody over Ace. She was just playing the game of Love Island, which is talk to people, see if there's a spark, see what's happening, see what's going on. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, when Chelley did it to Chris, Huda didn't say anything. And it's like, well, I don't think Chelley bounced her big freaking butt on Chris's face, per se. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, of course, it's the heart rate challenge and you're supposed to win and you're trying to win, but she could have done that on any other guy. Like, she could have done that on Chris, and I feel like she was kind of, trying to get a get back of sorts. Like, it just felt too coincidental for it to not be some kind of get back, if you get what I mean. I guess to me, it will always be a question of, why did you choose Ace? You could have chose anybody else. Why did you choose Ace? Like, you have not done much of anything with him, haven't really said much of anything to him. You guys got into it in the earlier episodes. So why did you choose Ace to do that on? Like, what? And a lot of people came out of the villa saying that she went crazy, that she like did her biggest one, in the words of Clark. Do you guys think I should make a Love Island unpopular opinion video? Because I have a lot of things to say about that show. I don't want to make this video too long, but I definitely have some more unpopular opinions. I have to say, like, I love Nicolandria. Don't get me wrong. I voted for them. I was rooting for them. I was Nicolandria for like, I don't even know how many weeks. The way that people were hating on Taylor, I feel like Nick low-key didn't do that much of a like different thing to Sierra and Olandria. I do feel like Nick low-key was, kind of being weird about the whole Sierra situation. Like, your connection that you just closed off with left, and I feel like he kind of just jumped into it with Olandria. And like I said before, I'm a Nick and Olandria stan. I love them together, but I do feel like the response to Taylor and the response to Nick have been very different. And I feel like Nick, closing off with someone in the villa and then leaving the villa with somebody being like, I want to get to know you on the outside, and it's a completely different girl, mind you. I feel like that's kind of crazy to me. Like, I feel like there wasn't really processing time. I feel like more so Nick has been kind of wanting her and has always wanted her a little bit, but I feel like he just wasn't getting that response from her, and so he just went with Sierra. And I feel like that probably wasn't his most major option, but I feel like that was just one of the only options he had, and I do feel like that's a little messed up. I know we don't like Sierra. That's probably why a lot of people aren't saying this, but regardless of how you guys feel about Sierra, I do feel like, Nick, his actions and the way that he went about that was just a little... Alright, you guys, well, I am completely ready. I just put on some setting spray. I just put on my jewelry. You hear that? You hear that? Baddies know that is the sound of a baddie approaching. If you hear that, you're about to see the finest thing you've ever seen on this planet walk across your eyes. Anyways, those are all of the unpopular opinions that I have to share for right now. Let me know if you guys want any more of my unpopular opinions. Maybe I'll even do a Love Island themed video. I don't know, because I have a lot to say about that show. Anyways, you guys have a good day, night, evening, whatever, wherever you are. And tune in again, because who knows, you might just enjoy it.